Arguably, over the last 10 years, the two toughest teams in high school football in Colorado have hailed from Mullen and Columbine. Both physical, and both understand what winning is all about. This season, the Mustangs and Rebels battle in the same conference, and tonight, both try to remain undefeated and earn the league championship before the 5A playoffs kick off next week. Can the Rebels knock off the back-to-back state champs? We're about to find out next on Altitude. The West Metro Conference on the line tonight from De La Salle Stadium in Denver. But it's much more than that. It's two undefeated teams put their record and their school pride on the line. Glad you're with us here on Altitude as we feature the number 3 ranked Columbine Rebels and the top dog in the state, the Mullen Mustangs. Hi everybody, alongside Blake Olson, I'm Kyle Keefe, and they don't get much better than this. Two undefeated teams and the last game of the regular season.
Yeah, great way to finish out the month of October with two Metro West Conference teams battling for the championship in the league. Hey, I realize that they're both high seeds in the playoffs coming up in 5A. You know, bragging rights are important in high school football. They haven't met since 2006, and I think both these teams are going to leave it on the field tonight.
Where do you start with Mullen? I mean loaded. When I say loaded, fully loaded at every position, but if you wanted to start to slow them down, you'd start with Siler Miles and Rayshawn Williams.
That may be a good place to start. The quarterback and the wide receiver, Siler Miles and Rayshawn Williams, Division I prospects, excellent athletes, both fast and strong. You see Siler Miles, he can make plays out of the pocket, but excellent accuracy in the pocket as well. Great protection from his lineman up front. Already has 12 touchdown passes, only one interception, Kyle, and is throwing for over 1,200 yards. And then Rayshawn Williams, 600 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. He's the cousin of Brandon Marshall. We may see him in the NFL one day. I mean, you stop that, you slow them down, then you have to worry about the Mullen running game.
I mean, more.
That's
yeah,
right.
He's a big cat, I'll tell you that. All right, for Columbine, also undefeated at 8-0, and they get yards in bunches, and it comes on the ground over 2,800 yards as a team, and they're led by their junior, Cameron McDonald.
Columbine, Kyle, does two things extremely well on offense. They run the football, and they run the football. And they use Cameron McDonald out of the double wing set. He's an excellent athlete, passion for the game, great attitude, over 1,500 yards rushing, 25 TDs, 169 carries. They'll run him off tackle, they'll run him on the sweep, on the option. They may throw the ball 3 times tonight. If they get excited, maybe they'll throw it 5. But the bottom line is both these teams are well-disciplined, structured, programs with pride, and this is going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, you won't have to look high in the sky for fireworks. Just keep your eyes on the field. Both teams average just over 35 points a game. Someone's going to go home with their first loss, and someone's going to be the conference champs. Will it be the current champs, Mullen, or will it be Columbine? We're about to find out next.
Low prices, fast service since 1949. Get your tires today at Peerless Tires for Less. For a light truck and SUV tire that offers quality and value, get the Trail Guide AP. Improved wet traction and a long-wearing quiet ride as low as $76.99. And do you want that heavy-duty starting power this winter? Exide batteries will give you that extra punch. Now they're as low as $59.99.
When you need tires for less, come to Peerless.
Tires for Less.
Altitude's College Football Saturday kicks off in the SEC as Tennessee lines up against South Carolina, followed by Montana State taking on Idaho State, and then New Mexico State butting heads against San Jose State. Saturday.
Fact. How can these insurance companies promise you lower rates when they base their rates on your credit rating? The fact is, they can't.
I need to get the most out of my paycheck, so when I found out my insurance rates were based on my credit scores, I called Fred Loya.
With locations throughout Colorado, thousands of people are switching to Fred Loya Insurance because we base our car insurance rates on your driving record, not your credit rating. So come on, Colorado. Take the Fred Loya Challenge. Call us and start saving money today. Loya Insurance Group, where being local matters.
Hi, I'm Lindsey Vaughn, 3-time World Cup ski champion and Olympic gold medalist. They say the Colorado Pass is why we live here, and they're right. I love coming home to Colorado and my Colorado Pass. It's the best way to ski as much as you want all season long.
For the low price of $479, you get unlimited access to Breckenridge, Keystone, and Arapahoe Basin, plus 10 days at Vail and Beaver Creek. Hurry, these low prices are only guaranteed through November 7th. Restrictions apply. Go to coloradopass.com for sales locations and details.
Cody McLeod and your Avalanche are back home. Get ready to shoot it out with Rick Nash and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Avs, Jackets, puck drop Saturday at 6:30, only on Altitude. You're watching Colorado High School football on Altitude, presented by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Now, let's get back to the stadium in the new Toyota truck. A perfect night for some football. Glad you've made us part of your evening. Alongside Blake Olson, I'm Kyle Keefe from De La Salle Stadium in Denver. We conclude another great season of high school football with a game of epic proportions, and I mean epic. Let's go down to the field. The third member of our broadcast, Julie Brauman.
Kyle, as you know, both these teams have played some very big games in their histories, and this one has to rank right up there. There's definite implications, and they are very excited for this very, very special game.
It's a Week 9 game. It is undefeated teams, league championship, so it is big, and it's kind of a test to see if our kids can battle and hang with them.
We're pumped up. You know, back in '06 was the last time we played them in the state championship. We won that game, so I'm sure they want a little bit of redemption, but, you know, we got to prepare like any other week, come out fired up and give them everything we got.
You know, it's going to be a great test for us. Columbine, they've had a great program for a long, long time, and you know, it's always fun to compete against them, and yet, you know, you always have your hands full. So we're expecting a tough game. I know we're going to get that, and we just have to be ready for it.
Now, initially, the players on both teams were saying, oh, it's just another game. But then I said, really? And they said, no, it's a huge game. Kyle, back up to you.
Well put. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty big game. Dave Logan, he's been pretty successful, Blake, here at Mullen.
Yeah, just a little bit. He has a short week, too. Let's get on that plane and go to London right after this. So this is a great atmosphere, though, Kyle. It's packed on the other side with the Columbine fans. Can't really see all the stands here on the Mullen side, but plenty of football fans here to see Andy Lowry's team along with Dave Logan's team.
Both teams 8-0, undefeated coming to tonight's game. Mullen has won the toss and will kick off. It's Knight Laird and the Mullen Mustangs ready to rumble here at home. We're underway. Back to receive Cameron McDonald and Connor Doris. That one's gonna start things off from just outside the 10-yard line, make it the 20, and we'll get our first look at the Columbine offense. And there you see the guy who's gonna get the ball all night long, Cameron McDonald.
Great vision. He has been the leader on this offense. And it starts up front for Columbine. Starts with the guards and the centers in this running game.
Under the gun, Justin Brown. He'll give it to McDonald right from the get-go. And a nice chunk of change there. He'll pick up 6. Their leader, Justin Brown, a junior. Not going to blow you away with size, 6'1", 180 pounds, but he can also rush the ball, 235 yards. He's averaging almost 12 yards a carry, Blake, 4 touchdowns on the year.
Only his 3rd start of the season. They made a few changes at quarterback, so watch that.
McDonald with first down, excuse me. And right from the get-go, the offensive line of Columbine is moving the Mullen Mustangs around a bit.
9 yards on that carry. 2 huge plays so far for the Rebels, Kyle, to establish the running game here at De La Salle.
McDonald, 25 touchdowns on the season. Those are NFL type numbers. He is, he's the horse. Not too big of a kid, just 5'9", 190 pounds, but when you're going behind an offensive line, as you see him right here, the offensive line is impressive. 235 for Clough, 275 pounds is Heslin. They're big. Sanders there as well. The receivers, Tyler Thomas, we talked about McDonald, Beverly, a senior. They can move the ball. This is a team that averages over 35 points a game, and they don't allow too many, not as much as Mullen. Mullen's averaging just under 5 points a game defensively, but Columbine is not too bad themselves, averaging 16 points a game and scoring over 35. We're going to see a shootout here tonight. This could get wild.
Something that Andy Lowry doesn't like to see. I don't know what coach does, but a false start on the play before that one. Having to make up for it here, but doing a nice job.
And a pass, and he's taken down. Justin Brown tackled in the backfield. A nice open field play by number 6, Connor Healy. And a pass on just the 3rd play of the game.
Well, they're running the ball extremely well. They had to try to stretch him a little bit, but this defense is just too fast. You got to be careful.
Mitchell and Johnson on the defensive line, both over 240 pounds. Donahue, McKinney, Grizzly, Silva, the linebackers, Dagg, Healy, and Willingham. And another running play will bring up 4th down. Mullen holds tight. And we'll see our first punt of the night from Columbine.
It all started with that false start. They had a rhythm and tempo with their running game. Pushed them back, and Columbine, when you have 3rd and long, it's difficult for a team like that to be able to do anything, especially with their running game and passing, just not their forte early in a game.
Here's Aaron Torres to the right. Let it bounce, and it'll get a rebel bounce all the way down inside the 30-yard line, and almost recovered by Columbine, but there to pick it up was number 22.
It was a 55-yard punt. I don't know if it touched him. Evidently it did, because he jumped on it, wanted to be sure, but mistakes are going to be key tonight. Turnovers. You cannot beat yourself, either team, against both these squads.
Siler Miles in charge of things for Dave Logan, Jr. He's big, 6'3", 205 pounds, very efficient when he's throwing the ball, and he should be when he's got talent like that. Sweep right, and that's Rayshawn Williams. A big chunk of change. Mullen offense, led by Siler Miles. Rayshawn Williams, the cousin of Brandon Marshall. We'll be talking about him all night long. The offensive line, big as well. Mancinelli, 265 pounds. Miller, 240. Some big boys up front. The wide receivers, Rayshawn Williams. Playmaker, Malcolm Weil see the ball a bit. But Siler Miles, again, hands off to Amin Moore, who is a large person, to say the least, and full of muscle. He is an A-train.
Well, we've watched Adonis Amin Moore since he was a freshman. We've seen him here on altitude plenty of times. Talked to his dad before the game, and it looks like Syracuse and Utah are leading the pack as far as teams who he may commit to next season.
First down, Amin Moore again with a nice move and through the middle. Big yards across midfield, inside the 40. Finally taken down at about the 31-yard line. Finally tackled. Just outside the 30, and reminds me a little bit of Christian Okoye. Got that big upper body and those strong legs. Hard to bring down.
29-yard gain for Mullen. That's a huge way to get this thing going.
Mullen, the top-ranked offense in the state. Putting together a nice run here. Outside of the right, Rayshawn Williams. As we get our first look at the Rebel defense. Up front, they're big all the way around, regardless of what team you're talking about. Columbine defensive line, Campton, Ulrichsen, Osborne. The linebackers, Cesar Lopez, Gary Miller, Dakota Farrell, and some fast defensive backs and safeties, Brown and Torres. Torres doing the punting detail as well. Tyler Miles back to pass, hands it off to Amin Moore. And he picked up just enough. Looks like he's got enough for a first down.
Really one of Mullen's bread and butter plays right there. A little play action handoff to Amin Moore, and they do it so well. They make it look easy, that offensive line up front. And this is going to be key here in the next 3 plays, because Columbine needs to have some success on the defensive line here. They don't want to get in a hole early on against this team.
Malcolm Y, Rayshawn Williams spread out to the left. Amin Moore in the backfield. Tyler Miles will give it to Moore across the left side, and a nice open field tackle there by Cesar Lopez.
Nice job by Lopez there. The junior getting in, making some big plays this season. He's an excellent track athlete, and he shows speed right here, Kyle.
First down is going to be important. If you're giving these guys 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2, it could be a long night. Don't ask the Mullen fans, what have you done for me lately? 5 shutouts on the season. Every opponent they've played, they've pretty much handed it to. Amin Moore again. They like that left side. So does Moore, who picks up about 9, close to a first down.
Well, the challenge here for Columbine, you saw Lopez do it on the play before that one, tackling Amin Moore low. And once again, they'll feed the rock to him and just try to pound you and establish that. And then if you stop that, they're going to stretch the field like they did the first 2 plays of the game.
Amin Moore just went over 1,000 yards for the season. Came in tonight with 950 rushing yards. Add to it, no, he's tackled in the backfield, and a nice tackle prior to the line of scrimmage could bring up an interesting 4th down.
That was a big hit right there. Just getting in.
It was
Rebels.
Jackson Moore.
Nice job. Nice call by the defense. They're bringing the house now. And you almost have to at this point.
Well, with all the talent that Dave Logan has on the Mullen sidelines and on the field, 4th down, just like any other down. We'll see if they'll give it to Moore along the left. They don't. Sweep right. Moore has got the yardage, and he's in for the score. Adonis Amin Moore gets the Mullen Mustangs on the board. With just 5:12 left in the first, the Mustangs strike first.
That right side of the offensive line, excellent job. Very difficult for the Rebels to do anything here. The guards and tackles doing what they have to do. Excellent blocking up front. Adonis Amin Moore with a great lane to run through into the end zone.
Extra point blocked, but finds its way through the uprights. Doesn't matter how it goes in, as long as it goes through. Adonis Amin Moore and the Mullen Mustangs. First drive, give them 6. Right now, Columbine will take over. They're down 7.
For more than 45 years, the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame has honored the state's greatest athletes. Even more importantly, they provide vital support to local and state programs that encourage diverse participation in sports, including women and the disabled. With your help, the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame will continue to honor the state's rich athletic history while assisting those organizations that strive to make sports accessible to all Coloradans. To see how you can help, please log on to coloradosports.org or call 720-258-3888.
Everyone loves our $10 any pizza deal so much. We're lowering the price of every pizza on the menu. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings is just $10.
Every pizza at a great price, every day.
Now lower prices, only at your Pizza Hut.
Infiniti of Denver, winner of Infiniti's prestigious 2009 Award of Excellence, is Colorado's choice for new Infinitis and high-end pre-owned luxury vehicles. Stop by today and see the new high-performance luxury G Coupe sedan with standard 330 horsepower and distinctively seductive style. Infiniti G Coupe sedan, a deeper level of performance. Take a test drive at Infiniti of Denver on South Havana and Parker Road, or visit our virtual showroom at infinitiofdenver.com.
Everyone loves our $10 any pizza deal so much, we're lowering the price of every pizza on the menu. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings is just $10.
Every pizza at a great price, every day.
Now lower prices, only at your Pizza Hut.
High school football on Altitude is brought to you by the all-new 5th generation Toyota 4Runner. Available now at your neighborhood Toyota stores. Well, it didn't take the Mullen Mustangs long to get things going, get things cranked up. A full house here at De La Salle Stadium, 9 plays, 74 yards, and a mean more. Impressive.
Well, that was a team effort right there. Great job. Columbine shot themselves in the foot early on in that drive. They cannot do that. They're a running team. They can't make any mistakes. They need to eat time off the clock, drive the ball down the field. You cannot give Mullen an opportunity on offense.
Knight Laird says, go shag that one. Through the end zone. Andy Lowry and the Rebels looking to put some point on the board. They'll start from their own 20 when we come back.
I am a Broncos fan.
I am a Broncos fan.
We are Broncos fans.
I shop at King Soopers.
King Soopers. I use my supercard.
I use my supercard.
I bleed orange and blue.
I bleed orange and blue.
I buy official items of Broncos country.
Broncos country.
Rush to King Soopers to win exclusive prizes when you buy official items of Broncos country.
Only at King Soopers.
I am a Broncos fan
and will forever be a King Soopers shopper.
Rush to King Soopers to win your official headquarters of Broncos country.
The way out of this recession starts with job creation. The way back starts by electing candidates like Ken Buck to the U.S. Senate. Endorsing Ken Buck, Colorado Biz Magazine wrote he's placed a higher priority than his opponent on improving the plight of small business. That's why NFIB, Colorado's leading small business association, supports Ken Buck. Paid for by the Cooperative of American Physicians Federal Political Action Committee and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Thursday night football here on Altitude. 7-0 Mustangs still in the first quarter. Hey, tune in Saturday for some SEC action as Tennessee takes on South Carolina on Altitude. At 1:30, don't miss a Big Sky matchup as Montana State pays a visit to the Bengals of Idaho State. That one also on Altitude. And at 2 p.m. on Altitude 2, catch San Jose State taking on New Mexico State. You can watch that starting at 10 a.m. only on Altitude. Columbine probably thinking in the back of their mind, well, let's see, Mustangs shutouts Chaparral, Grandview, Cherokee Trail, Creek 48-0. From the standpoint of confidence, getting some points, whether it's 7 or 3. Justin Brown, a little miscommunication maybe, and a loss of 1.
That was an option left, just probably made the wrong read, but that defense from Mullen is going to make things extremely complicated for you. So you see the mesh here on the option left. He decided to pull it there, and it's a good point on the communication. It's more of a feel with the fullback and the quarterback, of course. And remember, he's only played in a couple of games as a starting quarterback for Columbine.
Tim Tebow made his living in Florida running that play. The flag is thrown down. They bring up a 3rd and 15 and not what Andy Lowry wanted. Steve Hall, our referee tonight. Jim Shufflin, David Atchison, Ben Dunell, and Gary Leeper calling the action for you. And a big run, nice yardage Gain of about 8 yards, but it'll bring up another 4th down for Columbine, and they'll look to punt.
Yeah, you get a nice play, and then you look up at the sticks, and it's already 4th down, so that has to be extremely deflating. They just need something to go right, but it's going to be difficult on defense coming up here because they're going to have very good field position.
Aaron Torres back to punt. 2 dangerous returners. Rayshawn Williams on the right. Addie Brown with the return. 5 on the return, 29 yards on the punt. And the Mustangs are in business again, almost at midfield.
And you talked about the confidence level. Speaking with Coach Lowry earlier this week, he really doesn't know if his kids are intimidated by this team or not. They really don't worry about it. They kind of concern themselves with what they have to do. They're going to have to fly around, tackle low, and be physical on this possession, I can tell you that.
Well, they're going to have to stop 34. Loving that left side of that offensive line. Blow it dead. Looks like Dave Logan and company want to talk things over.
So with Mullen trying to figure out things from Columbine's defense, maybe Coach Lowry can organize his troops on the other end, and it's just difficult because everyone knows that Mullen can almost do whatever they want on offense. They can throw the ball. You just saw they can run it with Adonis Amin Moore. They have tight ends. Their offensive line is excellent. Everyone in the state has respect for Mullen. But in a situation like this, does it come down to 1-2? We shall find out.
Well, Amin Moore, 5'11", 220 pounds, and 150 of that is in his legs. He can motor, and like I said, he's got over 1,000 yards rushing right now. He's the A-train, and when you have a running back that's averaging nearly 9 yards a carry, regardless of the down, give him the ball.
He has 2 great parents. They've raised him well, and you can see it on the field and off the field as well.
1st and 10. They'll hand it off to him. Makes a couple of nice moves at the line of scrimmage and breaks it out left across the 40, near the 30-yard line, and 19 yards on the carry for Adonis Amin Moore.
The moves that he made laterally on that frame, pretty amazing. I mean, he's an offensive lineman for a lot of teams, and that right there, that's pretty impressive. Big kid like that being able to move east and west.
Well, and he sold it right from the snap. You saw the move, and there's
right.
The little things that coaches talk about. Don't be loafing from the beginning. You got to sell those linebackers on direction and textbook. He'll get it again to the right side. Few blockers. Finally brought down at about the 24-yard line. Nice gain of about 6 yards.
Pursuit pretty good by Columbine. However, about a 6 or 7 yard gain for the Mustangs.
And these first downs are so critical if Columbine wants to stay competitive. Because again, you get these 2nd and 3rd down situations that you only need a yard, and when you've got a guy who's already rushed for 87 yards and more, it's pretty easy to pick up those first downs. He's got a hole on the left. Flag is down on the play. Brought down just at about the 1st down marker, but they're going to bring it back. Holding is the call.
Holding by the Mustangs, and a nice job by the Rebels. They have to keep on bringing the heat. It's the only way. You got to know that you're going to play 4 quarters against this team.
Columbine 8-0. Big win last week, 51-21 over Bear Creek. Started out things against Thomas Jefferson and never looked back. 286 points offensively. But right now they find themselves under the gun on the road, playing the #1 ranked team in the state with just 1:40 here at the 1st, down 7-0. Miles is going to throw. Rayshawn Williams He looks like Brandon Marshall. He's just got the exact same moves. It's all about the yards after catch. He may catch it for 6, but he'll pick up 10 or 12.
And the Rebels doing a nice job helping their DBs out because he's going to shake someone, and you cannot stop on the play. And you'll see the Rebels pursue after this. After that great move right there, coming up, 2 Rebels on the play, and that's good defense.
What do you say if Brandon goes, hey, let's go throw it around the backyard. I'll teach you a few things. You think you're listening?
I would think so.
A draw play. It's not more. Addie Brown, the junior, and a nice draw play. Siler Miles sold it well, and it looks like Mr. Logan will punt it away.
That's a huge win for the Columbine defense right there. 2 very big plays by the Rebels coming up using their speed and their pursuit and now forcing the field goal.
What am I talking? Punt. 41 yards on the attempt. Knight Laird. Kick is up and it's right. But a flag is down. It might be roughing the kicker. Check it out. Yeah, personal foul, roughing the kicker.
Well, Andy Lowry's not gonna like that one. And you just can't afford to do this in a big game like that. That's tough.
Connor Doris trying to do a little too much, and he knew it.
Yeah, good effort on the play. But man, every little thing is big in a game like this.
Wow, what a turn of events. You'd have it basically at your 38-yard line, moving the other direction. Kick was nowhere even close to the uprights, and now all of a sudden you're faced with 1st and 10 from about the 14-yard line. Addie Brown in the backfield. Miles looking to throw it. He's got his man down to the goal line, and it's a touchdown. Siler Miles to Nick Dirks. And touchdown, Mullen.
That's a pretty play. Rolling right, squaring your shoulders. This is a junior and has everything down pat. That's just beautiful. Well-designed play. Everyone did their jobs. Catch the ball first, get into the end zone. Nice job by the Mustangs.
Siler Miles isn't afraid to throw the ball either. He's thrown it 130 times, so with that running attack, makes the passing game a little easier. Rayshawn Williams usually the target, but when you're running guys out in the flat like that with all kinds of blocking in front from the 10-yard line, it's some big boys in front of you, easy to get 6.
Well, you can't give them second opportunities. Columbine has given Mullen 2 second opportunities, and they've taken advantage of it. That's what state championship teams do. Mullen going for their 3rd straight state title in Class 5A. The postseason begins next week at 5A. Both these teams will be high seeds, as we mentioned earlier. But I mean, they're just too good. Once you win on defense or on special teams, you got to take advantage of it. They've shot themselves in the foot twice.
Hey, you can feel the swagger around this stadium. People know that they've got a good football team here. It's shocking. They know these kids can play, and it's not just 1 or 2 of them either. Knight Laird once again through the end zone. They're going to be leaning on Justin Brown, the junior, to dig him out of a 14-0 hole here. Just 8 seconds to go in the first quarter. Columbine, regardless of how long the drive takes, they got to put together some first downs and get some confidence on the offensive side of things, and it's got to start with their quarterback, Justin Brown.
Well, they were running the option the last 2 plays on that last drive. Had a little success. We'll see what the young quarterback could do here.
They'll hand it off. And a nice run along the left-hand side. Cameron McDonald with 1 second left on the clock.
That's a well-designed play right there.
And an important first down.
Yeah, I think that's the only way they can hang with Mullen. Great calls like that.
Well, a few mistakes from Columbine. One on special teams has turned into a 14-0 Mustang lead. We're through the first. We'll be right back.
Everyone.
Ten. Nice to play defensively. Some offensive numbers from the first quarter. Mullen doing what they do, 131, but Columbine, maybe their worst enemy, just 30 yards of offense.
McDonald with that run there 2 plays ago. They had the flow going one way and cut back quickly. You get that pursuit from this fast defense. I think that's the only way you can find some success.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Justin Brown tosses it out left. First down, Columbine, and a little hurry-up offense from Andy Lowry. Were the Mustangs ready?
Yeah, whatever works. First down, and the clock is ticking. 2 important things for the Rebels right now early on in this game.
Columbine very good on the ground. Justin Brown will keep it. No, excuse me, he faked me out. Through the middle. Boy, he had me fooled, but the Mustangs saw it well. On the carry was Jonathan Beverly. And a gain of about 8.
He's doing, excuse me, Kyle, he's doing a great job protecting the ball this year. He was out 3 weeks, came back a couple of weeks ago, and he's a nice compliment to McDonald in the backfield.
We're only 10, 12, 15 feet above the field here. We're seeing the same angle you basically are. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. The Mustangs will have none of that. Loss of about 2 yards.
Everyone knows that the Columbine Rebels will run the ball. Sometimes it's deceiving. Sometimes an option football like that, it's all about what the guards and tackles can do. But the Mustangs, great job. They have so much speed, especially at the linebacker spots. Athletic, strong. It's difficult to get a playoff.
You think
sometimes.
Connor Healy was ready for that play? Fired up. 3rd and 2. Now Justin Brown will keep it. He'll have to make a nice move and hit hard at the end of the play. From our angle, it looks like he's got enough for a first down, but he was hit hard in the back of the head and got up like, hey, it's football.
Option football for a young quarterback like that on the option. He's going to have to keep his feet and go north and south when he has an opportunity. He's going to have to do it quick because the pursuit of the Mustangs just too good. But a nice job diving for the first down right there for the Rebels.
Make it 3 in a row. Trying to string them together here in the second quarter. 2 in the backfield. And a fumble down on the play. Mustangs think they got it, and they do. What a defensive play by Dave Logan's Mustangs, blasting through the line of scrimmage and making a devastating hit. Wow, Brady Daig. Hello, Mr. Daig.
Brady Day is just one of the great defensive players on this team. He's been playing for 2 years before this season on the varsity level and just laid the wood. Great call.
Well, there's nothing you can do about that. That's just a great football play. So the Mustangs take over the 50-yard line, but not before the referees blow the whistle.
Time to get that.
Day is one of the linebackers who will have a bright future, of course. He's headed to the University of Colorado. Jeff Braun, a great call on defense on that last play. They become the offense.
Brady Daig, senior, 6'3". Yeah, look at him. He looks big, 230 pounds, and the defense has been outstanding. Daig, one of their linebackers, only allowed 38 points on the season. There's 8 games already in the bag, folks. That's 4.7 points a game, and that's part of the reason why Brady Daig and company getting right through the line.
Day is an instinctive player, and you could see it on that play right there. They really utilize him in a few packages that defensive coordinator Jeff Braun throws out there, and I say they become the offense because this defense is just so aggressive. Sometimes they can do almost anything they want.
Miles, Rayshawn Williams. Boy, that's bread and butter. You think they've run that a few times? Just a quick little 15-yard out. Woo.
Speaking of doing almost anything you want, you could probably do this 10 straight times. It'd be difficult to cover. Good footwork, coming back to the ball, excellent route runner. We talked about that in the open. And as you mentioned, Kyle, when you have a cousin, obviously playing in the NFL, he can help you out with a few things here and there.
It was Tyler Harrington on the recovery to give the Mustangs the ball. We'll give it to Amin Moore, who breaks 3-4 tackles across the 25 down at the 24. And we've seen this already through the first quarter. He's broken 3 or 4 tackles after the first initial hit.
Well, this looks like an option. I don't even know if you need to option anything right there. Everyone was blown off the ball. He keeps his legs churning and just a load to tackle.
Boy, if you are blocking downfield, you better hold your block because 34 isn't coming down easy. He's almost got 100 yards and we're not even halfway through the game. First and 10, Rayshawn Williams, sweep right, cuts it back through the middle. Flag is on the play. Gain of about 5, but usually that means a hold, and that's exactly what it is.
Well, generally speaking, this has been the story the entire season.
49 on a hold. 4-9.
Sounds like he's right here. Scared me.
It's Halloween.
Not yet.
Little break for the Rebels on that play. They needed something like that to go their way because Mullen just churning and racking up the yards.
Well, as they take a look at one of their offensive linemen, we'll take a break. Mullen with 120 yards already rushing on the night. It's almost 10 yards per carry. They lead things 14-0.
Subway restaurants are sending you a big thank you with Customer Appreciation Month. This month only, you can get one of 2 delicious subs for just $2 each. That's 1 regular 6-inch cold cut combo or 1 regular 6-inch meatball marinara for just $2. So swing by a Subway restaurant today for Customer Appreciation Month and choose from 2 6-inch subs for just $2 each. But hurry, because when this month ends, so does this deal. Subway, eat fresh.
Low prices, fast service since 1949. Get your tires today at Peerless Tires for Less. For performance at an affordable price, get the Cordovan Solar HP 430. It has an all-season tread design for dependable traction and handling as low as $40.99. And you can dress them up with these unique black spoke custom wheels. They'll give your vehicle the look you want as low as $48.99.
When you need tires for less, come to Peerless Tires for Less.
High school football on Altitude is brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Everybody lining up to get some grub over there. Hot dogs, pretzel. Blake had a pretzel tonight. It's a good, nutritious dinner. Is that all you had?
That's all I had.
Yeah.
It was great, too.
I don't buy it. After the penalty, Amin Moore across the left side. Seems to be a popular theme tonight. Across the 25-yard line, finally brought down by 6 Rebels. If that's what it takes, send everybody.
Well, they're going to have to bring it all night long. And you're going to have to gang tackle, get low.
Yeah, get low.
Go to his legs. That's the only way.
You saw someone try and tackle him up high.
Yeah, you can forget that.
It's like trying to slow down a wrecking ball. Official timeout on the field.
Columbine doing a nice job, though. You know, they're bringing it as much as possible, but if anyone's out of position or not tackling, it's going to kill them.
There's a reason that Mullen's won 22 straight games and back-to-back 5A titles. Here's one of the reasons. Runs just like that. Addie Brown, big yards, enough for a first down. So much talent. You think if it's not Amin Moore or Rayshawn Williams or Miles, I mean, they're just loaded. A 13-yard gain on the play.
Couple big blocks. Look at that hole. My goodness, Kyle, you could run through that one.
I could. Well, the offensive line's averaging like 245. They got some big boys up front. And they never quit. First and 10. Little movement on the line. No flag on the play. Nice gain. Taj Willingham.
You can see the strength and size right now just overpowering the Rebels on those last two plays. And it's going to be difficult. I mean, you're going to have to shed blocks because these guys are just, you know, they're doing what they've done all season long.
Well, they're not favoring one side of the line. I mean, it's not like they're scripting these plays for you either.
It's a balanced attack.
And half the time, it's right down your throat. Amin Moore, right down the throat.
Yeah, the problem is you bring the house, then you jeopardize the defensive backfield and easy throw over the middle. And it's just, this is the problem that every team has every week against the Mullen Mustangs. Bear Creek, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, came out here and played them strong for a quarter and a half. First touchdown scored against Mullen this year, the Bear Creek Bears, but they could not sustain it as well.
12 rushes, 112 yards for Amin Moore. 3 in the backfield. Moore again to the right side and a great open field tackle. It was first and goal from about the 3, and I don't know if he got one.
Got to wrap up. Still may have come high, but I mean, you at least get a piece of him.
Well, obviously, 4 down territory. And watch out for number 2 here, Rayshawn Williams. This is touchdown city. This is where his number usually gets called. Rayshawn with 7 touchdowns, over 600 yards, a bunch tonight. Mullen tough to beat, not only at home, on the road, on a bus in a different state. They are a good football team. Williams out to the left. Siler Miles rolling out right, had room to run, throws it in the end zone and incomplete. And wide open on the left was Rayshawn Williams, but Siler Miles turned it out to the right and looked like he had room to run.
Yeah, he had room to run, and he has an option there, obviously. If he wants to take it in, he probably could have. Last week, I saw Miles stretch out over the goal line, look like a forward in the NBA. I mean, he's so athletic and long. Dumps that one off. Nice job by the Rebels breaking it up.
Justin Brown, the junior, coming up big. 3rd down. Here's Amin Moore, and Amin Moore means business. 2nd touchdown of the night for Moore, and Mullen chalks up another.
Adonis Amin Moore. And we talked about it before the game, Kyle. You and I did, about an old Sports Illustrated cover that says, "Would you tackle this man?" Herschel Walker. It's kind of like looking at Herschel Walker or Earl Campbell coming down the pike, but then again, all you high school people, you have no idea who those players are, but they were big and strong like Adonis Amin Moore.
When you can break a bat over your leg with your 2 fingers. Amin Moore is one scary back to look at if you are a linebacker or a DB, especially a defensive back that's 175, 190 pounds, and you see the A-train coming straight down the middle lane. He didn't have to break very many tackles on that last run. Give some credit to the offensive line. Hank Baker on the try for the extra point, nearly blocked again and goes down. No flag on the play. Columbine in the face again, but it's been all Mustangs. 21-0 from De La Salle Stadium. Number 1 against number 3, and it's been all number 1.
Are things different now that I'm not crushing quarterbacks every Sunday? Yeah, a little bit. Thanks, Mike. But I'm still Michael Strahan, so I love Dr. Pepper. The taste of these 23 flavors can never be equaled, like me. I got it. Thanks.
Mike?
Hey.
What, man? Come on, Mike, man. Nice hit.
There's nothing like a pepper. Trust me, I've sent people to the doctor.
You've never seen fast. You've never held it in your hand, then unleashed it with the fingertip. Never watched pixels whip by at 1 gigahertz and had your neurons struggle to keep up. You've never seen fast because you've never seen this. The Droid Incredible by HTC. It's nothing short of its name.
Buy a Droid Incredible with Flash and get any phone free.
Thanks.
Tune in Saturday to see your Colorado Avalanche take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Avalanche face-off begins at 6:30, and then stick around right after the game for the Locker Room Report. Mike Haynes, Peter McNabb call the action with Peter Rutgazer, bringing you all the latest from the studio. Visit our website, www.altitude.tv, for a complete broadcast schedule. The Avalanche in Calgary tonight. Let's see if we can't get an update for you. Mullen has been outstanding. If you're just joining us, the Mustangs have thrown 21 on the board, and we still got 5:40 left in the second quarter. This might be our first returnable kick of the night, and it is. Inside the 30 and a fumble on the play. Scary. It was Connor Doris. Nearly turned the ball over, flag on the play, but Andy Lowry probably have some words for the Rebels in the locker room at halftime. We're killing ourselves, boys.
Good job getting back on the ball there. That could have been disastrous, as you mentioned. So the first time that the Rebels don't start a drive at the 20-yard line, they need all the help they can get right now.
Last scoring drive, 8 plays, 49 yards, 4 minutes. They're usually about 4 minutes when you pick up 10 yards a carry.
Sideline warning on Columbine. Sideline warning.
Oh, the great sideline warning. I've only seen about 350 of those this season. I'm glad everyone's staying behind the line, but a nice job by the official.
Well, and he better turn down his mic, because every time he talks, I almost jump out of my shorts. I'm just scared to death. If you don't keep your eye on the field, you never know when he's going to jump in. Mullen, the defense, maybe as impressive as the offense, holding this Columbine attack to nearly nothing. Justin Brown and company try and get that running game going. The handoff inside. The give to number 25, Jonathan Beverly. And if you got to do it 5 yards at a time, so be it. You got to go into the locker room at halftime with something on the board, or mentally you're just devastated.
Full house backfield there. You got to try to get as many blockers as possible against this defense.
Look at this. You think this team means business? Look what they did to Cherry Creek. 48-0, and then Bear Creek. A lot of people thought that one might be close, and it was at one point. It was 14-7 or 14-14, and Mullen just took over. Chaparral.
304 points to 38 against their opponents. No surprise when you see the back-to-back champions in Class 5A.
Brown. Lateral.
Well,
got to go north-south when you're trying to scratch yards.
Well, option football. He made the read, and against this defense, can't dance around. You just got to get upfield.
You got to wonder when you think about the 5A playoff lineup, who in the state can stop this Mustang offense or defense. They do it on both sides. At some point, someone's going to have to step up and say, this is our game.
We'll find out in the next 3 weeks. Regis is a good team. We'll see if those two teams end up playing each other, but we have plenty of football to go, and I think they shot themselves in the foot again.
Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, if you just joined us in the last 15 minutes, there was an interesting play where Mullen was going for a 41-yard field goal. It was missed wide right, but Columbine, with a roughing the kicker, gave him 1st and 10 at about the 12, and they cashed in. Dirks on the pass. Brown out to Cameron McDonald, quickly changes field back to where everybody was. And it was a nice setup, but he might have gone in the wrong direction, because if he'd have beat one man here on the right-hand side of the field, he might have been able to pick up some yards.
Yeah, screens are pretty tough to run against the Mullen Mustangs. You got to try to do whatever you can, but they're just so fast. Here comes the pressure from Day, and then the speed and the pursuit as McDonald tries to make a play, and just a hard hit by Leland Willingham, who will be playing big-time Division I football next season.
Punt it away. 4th and 7. And Aaron Torres sends it out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Well, I don't know what Dave Logan says to the defense. I mean, come on, guys. You've allowed 4 first downs.
Well, they just love to play football, and they're well coached, obviously, but they're great athletes. They love to hit. They're extremely physical. I don't know if you really have to tell them anything other than do what you've been doing the first 8 weeks of this season.
And Dave Logan stays focused. We saw him briefly for 10 seconds prior to the game, and game face. He's not one to brag about his own team, but boy, he lets the bragging happen on the field. Amin Moore hit the backfield and brought down for a loss. Nice defensive play. I believe it was 55.
Tony Campton with the play there. That's probably the biggest defensive play of the night, really. And the crowd loved it on the other side. Columbine faithful here, filling the stands at De La Salle. It's a great environment. We'll see what happens at halftime in the locker room.
Wyan Williams out left. Siler Miles going deep, and he's got his man wide open. Y, and he breaks a tackle, and call my number, Malcolm Y. Touchdown, 56 yards on the play, and the Mustangs lead big.
Well, the coaches like to say, why not? And why not go to Malcolm Y on that play? Defensive backs playing deep is the deepest. Okay, you have them in front, but now you got to play football. You have to wrap up. Get your head in front, but a nice move by Y there. They could do almost anything out in space.
Well, anytime you take Rayshawn Williams and run a little 10-yard out, he's going to get a lot of attention. And Y just ran a little slant. 28-0. Malcolm Y.
Rebel 0.
16 receptions prior to tonight. 261 yards, an average of 17. This one,
you think he has enough? You think he has enough time to throw the ball? Well, offensive line doing a great job. Beautiful
he's set
pass.
up in the gun. I mean,
well, I mean it's a team effort all across the board, from the offensive line, the running backs, receivers, quarterback, all doing their job and executing. And you have to play fundamental football against this team. You have to tackle well. If you're going to play deep as the deepest there, you got to come up, make the play.
Well, a turnover and a bad penalty is really all you can put on Columbine. Other than that, you have to give credit to Dave Logan and his staff. It's a well-oiled machine.
Yes, it is.
Hank Baker will kick off for Mullen. They got two kickers, Knight Laird and Hank Baker. They're switching off. We'll see if Baker can knock this one through the end zone. And no. This one is returnable. McDonald across the 20. Brought down to the 25-yard line, 22-yard late.
Good coverage on the play, and Mullen just physical here in the first half. No surprise there. And these guys lay the wood. They like black and blue football, as does Columbine, but right now just no confidence on offense.
Well, they've taken care of business everywhere else. 8-0.
Yeah, it's a big win against Bear Creek last week. Arapahoe, a team on the rise, had an upset over Bear Creek a couple weeks ago. So a difficult schedule, some good competition. But there's only one Mullen right now in 2010.
Boy, when you look around the country at the top 20, and I know how much you love standings and rankings and all that sort of jazz, but
Neil Devlin's up here in the box from the Denver Post. He loves rankings.
Well, I'm telling you,
for rankings.
There's got to be some of those. Wouldn't it be fun to take Mullen down to Texas and play some of those?
Absolutely. I mean, this is one of the best teams in the country. There's no question about it. I'll put Mullen up against anyone.
I'd put Mullen up against a few of the Mountain West teams, and I'm from the University of Wyoming.
I know they could beat New Mexico. That may not be a stretch there. New Mexico at Fort Collins taking on Colorado State this weekend.
I mean, just looking at the sidelines, the Mullen Mustangs have their back to us here in the booth. And they are big.
They do a nice job in the weight room.
Second and 5, Columbine. Brown will keep it. The ball's down on the ground. Did Columbine recover? No, they did not. Another turnover and another Mustang first down. Columbine is just kicking themselves in their foot.
Beautiful strip right there. Got to hold on to the ball. Rolled over on top.
Connor Healy with the strip.
Guy that's been courted by almost every Division I team in the country. San Diego State, one of those teams hot on his trail.
Greg Earhart on the recovery. First and 10 from the 35. Miles, Rayshawn Williams. Flag is down on the play. Williams will pick up a nice gain, but there could be an illegal block downfield.
Well, Columbine just wants to get in the locker room. Obviously, they don't want Mullen to get any more points on the board before they go in the locker room down 28-0.
It'll go against Mullen. Hasn't seemed to bother him yet. First and 15, first and 20.
Ineligible receiver on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that often happens when you throw those little 2-yard outs. Somebody gets eager, and it'll bring him back 5.
Remember, this is a good game for Columbine in the sense that they've seen the best in the state, if not one of the best in the nation, before the playoffs hit.
First and 15. Miles across the middle has his man. Addie Brown, gain of about 11. And time is stopped with 59 seconds. Dave Logan trying to put more points on the board before he's going to allow the Rebels to regroup.
That was a well-designed play. I mean, they're so well coached. And Logan does a nice job with the offense. You got 15 and 16-year-olds running an offense that is, you know, you look at technique and the system and the way you're supposed to run an offense. It's difficult sometimes with high school players, and man, it's just beautiful the way they execute.
Look at Siler Miles standing right next to Dave Logan. You know how big Dave is. He's done a nice job. 5 of 6. A couple of touchdown throws. It's, you know, Not very often does the quarterback get lost in the mix of all the hype because of, you know, all the stars you have in the backfield, and Rayshawn Williams and Malcolm Wise. A nice touchdown catch, 56 yards tonight, but Siler Miles not making any mistakes, that's for sure. He'll keep it here. Rolls out right and has all kinds of time, and there's Rayshawn Williams dancing. Enough for a first down. Boy, he's smooth, isn't he? He just never looks like he's pressured.
Yeah, here goes the hurry up, and a nice job by Miles. Throwing across his body there. Good velocity on the ball on the pass.
Taj Willingham in the back, and they'll just spike it. It's well coached. Looks like a college football team running the 2-minute drill. Think they've practiced this before?
And at this point, everything that they do is for scenarios or situations in the playoffs.
Rayshawn Williams, the cousin of Brandon Marshall. He is fast, he's quick, he's got great hands, and he's got a future.
And he's from Pennsylvania, so he has to be a Steelers fan. Or an Eagles fan.
Siler Miles avoids one, fakes out another linebacker, down to about the 2, and did he get in? They're gonna say he's just short, but that is, he can do it on the ground, he does it in the air.
A big kid with his feet, just beautiful, just gliding for the first down, making a couple of nice moves and directing the offense.
First and goal, just spike it. Siler runs the ball too. His average is only 3 yards, but it reminds me a little bit of Vince Young. Tall, lengthy, and
athletic.
Some nice moves here, yeah.
Wow, what a great move. You can just imagine what he was like. I don't know if he played for the Falcons in Little League or what team or organization he played for, but I'm sure that was pretty fun to watch on Saturday mornings, just like it is here on Thursday nights in high school football. Just a natural.
Half a minute to go. Mustangs threatening. And here comes Adonis Amin Moore. And for the 3rd time tonight, yeah. Sound effects, please. Amin Moore with his 3rd TD, and Mullen up 34-0.
What can you say other than great execution? Right side of the line, not even a chance. Oh my goodness, the blocks. Leland Willingham in on that play.
Well, and Kalazzi, number 56, 2-3 blocks on the same play. That offensive line pop you right off the beginning and then go get somebody else.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, half the distance.
Nothing going Columbine's way. Get in the locker room and try and regroup and play a good half of football. Hank Baker adds another one. Well, folks, this is what you get when you watch the Mullen Mustangs. You get a ton of points, and they don't allow hardly any. Reminds me of that 85 Bears team. They didn't score very many points, but boy, you just felt sorry for the teams that they were up against. You just can't move the ball.
Well, that's the year I was born, and
yeah.
I've heard a lot of stories about that team and that defense. Well, if you didn't know it already, Mullen, and they don't need to send any messages, but yes, that defense is almost impossible to score on. Bear Creek did it with a couple post patterns and some big plays, big strikes. That last drive, 6 plays, 35 yards. Moore is a 1-yard touchdown, minute 15 drive after the turnover, but it's deflating for a team like Columbine, who worked so hard coming up to this one. We know there's another half to go, but both teams with plenty of pride.
And deflating for other teams around the league going, there's a big one tonight, Mullen
yeah,
and
turn
Columbine.
off the TV.
No. Well, it's just, you're hoping it's a game. You're hoping that,
sure,
you know, that somebody's found a crack in the armor of Mullen, and believe me, there ain't many cracks.
Well, we'll see. I mean, a lot of things can happen. in the second half of high school football. And granted, you're talking about a special team here with a lot of Division I football players on the field for the Mullen Mustangs. But they'll make some adjustments. You can't turn the ball over.
That's the big one.
And Mullen, I'll tell you this much, they're going to go in the locker room and they're not going to take Columbine lightly in the second half. I can tell you that.
Well, they were cranking out Metallica by the hot dog stand prior to. And
is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean, I was fired up just watching you order your pretzel. Well, the fans here, I'd say they're pretty happy. Little 35-point lead on a big night when number 1 and number 3 get together for a little dance. It's been all Mustangs. Andy Lowry and the troops will regroup at halftime, putting that 8-0 record on the line in a conference game against the big dogs here tonight. Let's go down to the field. Julie Browman.
Hey, Dave, I know that you'll probably find a couple issues in the first half. However, for us, it's pretty hard. Both sides of the ball played very well in the first half.
You know what, we got off to a good start, and they've had a couple costly turnovers, and every time we play them, it's a battle. So I didn't anticipate this, but we'll come back out in the second half and assume we're going to get their best shot, which we always do.
What's very impressive is you have taken advantage of those opportunities that they've given you.
Well, you know, the first drive was key for us. I mean, we got them stopped. They had a penalty which hurt themselves, and then we went down and scored, because you have to be able to, when you play this team, you got to be able to play from ahead if you're going to have a chance to win. So, but again, first half, things went our way. I know they'll come out in the second half and it'll be a good game.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Okay, Kyle, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. Well, it's the end of the first half. That was the head coach, Dave Logan. He's got his Mustangs up 35-0. You're watching high school football on your home for high school sports. It's Altitude Sports and Entertainment. Coming up after the break, stay tuned for the King Supers halftime report. If you're a Mullen fan, hit your DVR, because there are highlights. And Adonis Amin, come on, man, more. I mean, we need sound effects for this kid. He's done it all night long. 3 touchdowns on the night. And Siler Miles in the air has been dangerous as well. He's got a couple touchdowns. They've done it from everywhere. Amin Moore, 115 yards on 16 rushes, and the defense. Boy, the defense has been solid.
Bringing it. The D in day stands for defense. Headed to Boulder next week.
Another turnover. Hey, there was a big time play on a possible field goal, but Mullen has taken advantage of every opportunity as they lead this one 35-0. Just look to the right-hand side of your screen. They mean business on the ground, 175 yards. Third downs, they've been perfect. Mullen has scored on all 5 of their first half possessions. Every time they get it, run it down your throat. They've been doing it in the air, and if it's not Rayshawn Williams, it's Malcolm Y. Siler Miles has nearly been perfect tonight, as Mullen leads this one by 5 touchdowns. We're about ready to start the second half from De La Salle Stadium. Columbine trying to get back in this one. Stay with us. Second half is next.
Everyone loves our $10 any pizza deal so much, we're lowering the price of every pizza on the menu. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings is just $10.
Every pizza at a great price, every day.
Now lower prices, only at your Pizza Hut.
Are things different now that I'm not crushing quarterbacks every Sunday? Yeah, a little bit.
Thanks, Mike.
But I'm still Michael Strahan, so I love Dr. Pepper. The taste of these 23 flavors can never be equaled, like me. I got it.
Thanks.
Mike?
Hey.
What, man? Come on, Mike, man.
Nice hit.
There's nothing like a pepper. Trust me, I've sent people to the doctor.
Welcome back. Just 4 competitors left standing.
They're going to have to dig deep here. It's gut check time, Doug.
Timberland Pro's gaining ground. Look at that power. He never slips.
The best guys really turn it on down the stretch.
Now, these two just don't like each other. Going for gold. Do or die, 950 pounds.
Determination is the key here.
Steel toe doesn't hurt either, Bob.
He did it!
Unbelievable.
Stayed on his feet all day long.
The endurance boot with anti-fatigue technology. Only from Timberland Pro.
Everyone loves our $10 any pizza deal so much.
We're lowering the price of every pizza on the menu. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings is just $10.
Every pizza at a great price, every day.
Now lower prices, only at your Pizza Hut.
De La Salle Stadium, you see the score. Mullen up 35-0. And a nice reception for Columbine as they took the field. The parents and fans cheering him on. They know they're down, but certainly not out. Let's go downstairs, check in with Julie.
Coach, I was not the first half that you wanted. What'd you tell the guys in the locker room?
You know what? We have to approach this as 0-0 right now and just play hard. We've been shooting ourselves in the foot all day. And we came out pretty starry-eyed, and I don't know if our guys are ready for this right yet in week 9. So hopefully we have a couple more weeks to grow up a little bit. But they're a great football team. And you either come in hoping that your kids battle and make a game of it, or you're afraid to death that something like this can happen. So we're going to try to put one series and one play together at a time and see what happens.
I heard you talking to the guys about just relax.
Trying to. I mean, we're jumping off sides and just doing some stupid things that we haven't done a whole lot. And it's not like we're not doing some good things offensively, but we can't shoot ourselves in the foot all night and go backwards with it. So, you know, they're a good football team. They're physical, and when they get up on you, they just bury you. So we have to grow up. We have to grow up right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, Kyle, back to you.
Thanks, Julie. Well said by Andy Lowry. And Blake, you and I were talking at halftime, reminiscing 91 or 92, thinking back to the NFL when Buffalo and the Houston Oilers in a playoff game, I imagine. And the score was 38-3, if I'm not mistaken. Houston up 35 points, and then all of a sudden.
Oh, man, Frank Reich and the Buffalo Bills come back on Jack Pardee's team, and it was a nightmare for Oiler fans. So, I mean, that was one of the most amazing comebacks I've ever seen, I've ever witnessed. I remember watching every play of that game, and I could not believe what I was seeing. Guys like Haywood Jeffries leading. I think Warren Moon was the quarterback, and Buffalo comes back. So, hey, anything's possible. And as Coach Lowry said, the head coach of the Columbine Rebels, you know what, we're going to approach it like it's 0-0. They have to get better. They have to improve because the playoffs kick off next week for both these teams.
Columbine will kick it away. Interesting. This doesn't mean the season's over. I mean, you got the playoffs to look forward to. You need your kids to stay positive, and it all starts here on defense. As Mullen will start from their own 20. But you know what? I like how Andy Lowry handled himself and answered the question. He didn't avoid anything. He knows that Mullen came out and took it right to him, and he needs to make sure that those kids aren't avoiding the obvious, which is, hey, we got our butts handed to us in the first half. Now we can pout about it, or we can come out here and play a good second half of football.
And that's what they'll do. That's what Columbine High School does. I mean, they know all about Mullen, and they understand competition in high school football in this state, and they're going to do their best to try to come back here.
1st and 10 from the 20. Dean Moore in the backfield. Big first half. He'll get the first carry of the night and break 2 tackles, a 3rd tackle, and finally brought down by the 4th and 5th tacklers on the play. Dean Moore didn't lose any sleep at halftime. Finally, Tony Campton brought him down.
Well, you see Amin Moore, his feet just gliding, and the quickness. Once again, he's running really well. I mean, this is the best I've seen him run. That was the hips, his feet right there.
He's changing the arm in which the football's in. Right. It's hard to do that at 50 miles an hour. Siler Miles looking to throw. Being tracked down, and a scary play. A near collision between number 49 and I didn't see who the offensive player was, but he went down to try and catch the ball, and 2 helmets were within inches of hitting each other.
It was Jack Corbett.
Yeah. But again, Siler Miles had room to run and chose to throw. He's only rushed it a couple of times tonight, and he's had pretty good success. His numbers in the air, excuse me, not bad either. 6 or 9, 115 yards, and a couple of touchdowns in the first half. give it to the big dog in the backfield, Dean Moore. Nice game, about 6 yards.
Offensive line doing their job, coming out strong early on for Mullen. Not letting up at all, creating plenty of room for Amin Moore to run.
You know the Kenny Chesney video, they played the song prior to, and it's interesting. You have to dig deep when you're down. It's easy to be tied 14-14 in a big game, but when you're fumble on the play, Miles will recover it. But when you're down in a big game, under the lights, tons of fans, undefeated, conference matchup, first place on the line, bragging rights, pride, senior night here for Mullen. There's all kinds of pressure, and Andy Lowry addressed that and said, look, you either roll over and let him walk on you, or you respond.
Yeah, and this is Mullen's first punt of the night. And new life, you know what? Fumble, they don't convert.
Knight Laird with the punt. Watching him in the pregame, he can knock it a long way. No return on the play. Bounce out right at about the 19-yard line. He's got a big leg. I was watching him in pregame warm-ups, and he was hitting 50, 60-yard punts in the air. 45 on that one, no return. Columbine takes over just inside their own 20.
You saw Miles walking gingerly. That's another thing that both coaching staffs do not want to happen tonight. You do not want any injuries in this game. Yes, it's for the conference title, but they know they're going to be a high seed, and they do not want to enter the playoffs with guys dinged up unnecessarily.
Well, the highest seed. First and 10. Handoff is inside, and a swarm of Mustangs. I didn't see the number because of so many defensive players. Nice gain, about 7 yards.
Option left. Good read by the quarterback, and good job by the offensive line up front.
Beverly on the carry. Chunk by chunk. Put something together. 3 in the backfield. Justin Brown under center. Long cadence. Brought down early.
All over it on that one.
Cameron McDonald, his numbers in the first half, 7 rushes, 35 yards. But didn't find the end zone. This is a guy that had 25 touchdowns coming into the evening. He's been held in check. Flag on the play. Looks like a baseball sign. They want someone to steal. Not sure what that sign is.
He's just slicker than snot.
Slicker than snot is what I heard. I thought he was sending the guy from second to third. I have no idea what this call is, folks.
Illegally equipped against the defense. Foreign substance, first down.
Well, okay.
I don't think it's Stickum, but we'll find out. We've had teams in the past.
Well, it is the flu season. I wouldn't,
that's a possibility
like you don't got a box of Kleenex out there in your back pocket.
Boy, I haven't seen that in a couple of years. Actually, 7 years, 9 years.
Have you ever seen that call? You ever seen a guy wipe his arms? Like,
like you said in baseball.
It looked like a third base coach.
There's a team in the Northern Conference, and they shall remain unnamed tonight, but that was a problem.
Well, there might have been some encroachment. I don't know if he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Call the snap.
Yeah.
Full start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Someone jumped on the left-hand side of the defensive line and got him to bite. But yeah, we would have been looked at 3rd and 7, and because of an illegal substance penalty, Columbine now 1st and 15, about the 36-yard line. Justin Brown will keep it, and a nice toss out wide. It's Noah Thompson.
Nice job by Mullen defending the option. Once again, option left is really nothing for the quarterback to do. Made the read, quick pitch out, and cornerbacks making their plays in the pursuit. Nice job by the Mustangs.
At what point does Andy Lowry give Brown the green light to maybe look downfield and get this Mustang defense to respect the pass a little bit, because right now it's almost like having 11 guys in the box.
Well, they still have to run play action in order to throw it. He probably wouldn't have much time to throw the ball.
Looked like there was a blitz on the play. Justin Brown, a keeper, hit hard at the 40, gain of 5, but that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
This is an option and trap team. They keep it on the ground, and Mullen, I mean, they're going to sit back there. If they want to try to throw it, they can, but unless you're in the shotgun and you're a passing team, you wouldn't be very successful anyway.
Leland Willingham might be on your Hit Me segment. You can hear that one from up here.
Willingham's just an outstanding football player. His dad told me before the game the mailman's getting upset because there's too many letters from colleges coming his way in the recruiting process.
Nice tackle, loss of 5 by Patrick Healy in the backfield. McDonald nowhere to go. Sweep right was swept up by Healy.
Well, these Healys just know how to play the game. Great anticipation.
I saw him walking on the field. It was probably an hour and a half prior to the game, and he was listening to his headsets. And you'd have thought it was first quarter because he was fired up. High snap. He'll get the kickoff end over end down to about the 35, and a slip up by Rayshawn Williams. 32 yards on the punt. Nothing on the return, but we do have a yellow marker on the field. Just when you think you got some momentum for Columbine. A big play by Mullen, and 4 downs, and you're out.
That's pretty discouraging if you're the
holding
opposition.
On the receiving team, 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down.
So Mullen backs themselves up 10 yards. They'll start from near their own 25-yard line. It's 35-0 Mustangs.
I'm Lonnie Porter, Regis University's head men's basketball coach and founder of the Porter Billups Leadership Academy. Partnered with Chauncey Billups of the Denver Nuggets, our academy is dedicated to the support and service of young men and women in the Denver area. The program gives at-risk youth the life skills to combat negative peer pressure, stay in school, and develop the aspiration to attend college and become leaders amongst their peers. Help support us at porter-billups.org.
We are PBLA, and we thank you.
Whew, this chalupa is huge. I can barely finish it. Joe Girardi?
You're done, kid. I gotta pull you.
Joe, I got a couple bites.
Nah, you said you could barely finish. I'm gonna make a move.
Okay.
I take it from here, kid.
Mom.
It's the biggest chalupa in the game. Taco Bell's new XXL chalupa. Double the beef, loads of nacho cheese sauce, and tons of toppings in a monster chalupa shell.
Kid chewed a heck of a chalupa today.
Yeah, for a rookie.
Think outside the bun.
High school football on altitude is brought to you by King Soopers, where our people make a difference in your neighborhood. This neighborhood is dominated by the Mullen Mustangs. And they are putting on a show here tonight, at least in the first half. They've had one possession here in the second half, and Columbine did a nice job of slowing them down, and already on first down, the Rebels in their face, a loss of 1.
Good defense up front. You know, you just have to do the right thing. You have to play your hardest and do what the coaching staff tells you to do. You want to prepare for the playoffs, obviously. They're not going to let up here. Try to make a big play. Get a little confidence going.
Defensively, they've been sharp here in the second half. All the starters still in for Dave Logan's Mustangs. So whistle comes down. I think coach wants to talk it over.
Timeout, Mullen.
Hey, you know, every high school football game this season here on Altitude, we will honor the seniors with our King Super Senior Shoutout. Many of these seniors will be playing their final game of organized football in We just want to recognize them. Here's the list of 23 seniors on Columbine's roster. And coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take a look at the seniors from Mullen having senior night here tonight. Make sure to check out Altitude's Facebook page and give us your favorite senior shout-outs. Yeah, I was watching the seniors here tonight walk across the 50-yard line. It brought back memories. I remember watching all the seniors from the stands where I went.
I thought you were going to say from the press box, but
no.
from the stands.
Yeah, boy. This is a great senior year watching football team play. Some of us aren't blessed with all the size and speed. We didn't have a bad football team in Wyoming, but they were nothing like the teams here in Colorado.
Nice run right there, and Mullen just doing everything correctly, stretching out the field, going west, and just racking up the yards. First down, Mustang. That's a beautiful play.
Well, that's the bread and butter. Big chunks of yard on first and second down. Execute. That's how Mullen makes their business, is doing exactly what they do every day in practice. And doing it the right way, and it starts with blocking a nice play fake. And that could have been big yardage. Siler Miles had me looking in the end zone where the toss sweep right to Adonis Amin Moore, and he kept it inside. Only a gain of a couple, but again, execution. The play, had the defense not read it correctly, could have made big yards.
Well, Addy Brown, the running back, is a guy that teams also have to respect. He's obviously a different type of running back than Adonis Amin Moore. He's very quick, good vision, good speed, and he can get it done as well.
There he is again, bringing it outside, and a great tackle on the left-hand side of the line. A great tackle, Cesar Lopez, the junior. And a couple times, both teams have made some nice open field tackles for losses. You're seeing glimpses of why Columbine's defense has been so impressive up to this point, because they know how to tackle and the fundamentals are there. They came out and looked sharp so far in the second half, Blake.
Yeah, they did, and good pursuit there and speed. Wrap it up, and Mullen trying to figure out and see what else they have other than Adonis Amin Moore. I think Coach Logan's giving other guys opportunities to touch the ball. Good pressure.
Siler Miles taken down, and Cesar Lopez says, one time ain't enough, make it 2 in a row.
Loss of 14 yards. Lopez coming in here, wrap it up, holding on. He almost got out of that one.
That was does he wrestle? Because that was a takedown and a big loss of yards. Mustangs, and Knight Laird will punt it away. Watch this punt. I don't know if he'll get a hold of one here, but he can flat out kick the football. Nice spiral, and a fair catch called at about the 33-yard line. So a 48-yard punt for Knight Laird. Columbine back in business on offense. Let's see if they can turn it into something.
Subway restaurants are sending you a big thank you with Customer Appreciation Month. This month only, you can get one of 2 delicious subs for just $2 each. That's 1 regular 6-inch cold cut combo or 1 regular 6-inch meatball marinara for just $2. So swing by a Subway restaurant today for Customer Appreciation Month and choose from 2 6-inch subs for just $2 each. But hurry, because when this month ends, so does this deal. Subway, eat fresh.
I am a Broncos fan.
I am a Broncos fan.
We are Broncos fans.
I shop at King Super.
King Super. I use my supercar.
I use my supercar.
I bleed orange and blue.
I bleed orange and blue.
I buy official items of Broncos country.
Broncos country.
Rush to King Supers to win exclusive prizes when you buy official items of Broncos country.
Only at King Super.
I am a Broncos fan
And will forever be a King Super shopper.
Rush to King Supers to win your official headquarters of Broncos country.
De La Salle Stadium, 35 nada. Mullen proving why they are #1. Time again for the King Super Senior Shoutout. Minutes ago, we showed you the seniors from Columbine. Here are the 20 7 seniors who are playing their final season for Mullen. Many of these seniors playing their final game of organized football, and we want to recognize them. So make sure to check out Altitude's Facebook page and give us your favorite senior shout out. Congratulations to those Mullen seniors. It's been a heck of a ride. Fumble on the play. I'm busy shouting out, and the ball went down on the field.
They're shouting out fumble.
Yeah.
And McDonald getting back on it.
Boy, that
good hustle by McDonald.
Could have been 3. He recovered it himself. Andy McDonald saying, we're shooting ourselves in the foot, and there you go.
Big time defensive play there.
Can't lose yards on first down. 2nd and 12. Justin Brown, 3 in the backfield to keep it himself, and a swarm of gold helmets.
Option left didn't work out that time.
So explain to me how you establish the passing game in this situation right now.
Well, when you run the ball 99% of the time, your option or trap team, the defense knows that, well, it has to be out of play action. So if you sit back there and shotgun, that's nothing you've ever done before. They know it's coming. It's just not what you do. It's not what they do, and you can't get from behind, obviously. You can't be behind. You can't come from behind.
They toss it off to McDonald, who knocks the helmet off of Greg Earhart. Big hit. The blow came from McDonald.
That's some hard running. Saw his speed and the ability to get upfield right there.
Watch the end of this run.
Yeah.
Head down, bring it on.
Goodness. Wow.
Well, I mean, he's only 190 pounds, 5'9".
Yeah, he's listed at 190 pounds.
If he'd have hit me, I'd have come out of my shoes. Big 4th down. Looked like Mullen wants to pressure the football, and Brown fumbled the snap, held onto it, kept his composure, and picked up 7.
Yeah, they had no idea where the ball was. Mullen's pursuit was so good, and they had it defended correctly. Bobbles the ball, just enough delay where they didn't really know where it was going. Well-designed play.
Wow, and Dylan Baker, the offensive line for the Rebels.
That's a good job by the young quarterback as well, Brown, to make a play out of that.
Baker is thrown completely back, and Justin Brown had to make something out of nothing.
Timeout. Columbine.
And remember, Kyle, talking about not throwing the ball and running it, you're down 35-0. They just want to improve. They've got to get the reps. They've got to, do the best that they can do and prepare for next week. And this team's going to go deep into the playoffs, Columbine. I mean, right now, Mullen has proven that it's Mullen and the rest of the field. Now, Regis may have something to say about that. They're definitely a talented team. They're a big team, physical team. I'd be excited to see that game if we end up seeing that in the playoffs. But Columbine needs to continue doing what they do best, and that's running the ball right now.
And as I just sit here, I'm watching Siler Miles sit on the bench. You got to wonder with, just a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter, up by 35 points. Does he even see another snap? Coming limping a little bit after that last play.
Our statistician, Pat Chavez, says yes. He's nodding his head, so there's your answer. Full house.
1st down. Quick move from the snap. Justin Brown doing his best. Bobby Brown nearly did a 360.
A little counter play right there. We haven't seen that tonight, but they have counter option out of that package, and Columbine does a nice job utilizing that off tackle.
See how fast he turned?
You got to turn that fast. You're up against this defense.
And look at those linebackers for Mullen, just sneaking up. They know that anything that comes down the middle, and just as I say that, a pickup of 10 yards. Boy, how you get through that, I have no idea, because they're showing blitz every single play.
That's a nice job. They go the counter off tackle left side, and then straight little power running right there on the left side, and good call.
Block Christian on the run. Beautiful night here. It's a little chilly. If you got a coat, you're fine. Good night for football. Two good football teams here tonight. Little lopsided on this Thursday, but that's the way it goes sometimes. 35-0 for the Mullen Mustangs. But impressed so far by Columbine's resolve. Andy Lowry, whatever he said at halftime, it's working on both sides of the ball. They've got it.
Now is the time to take advantage of our hottest offer from Xfinity, only from Comcast. Get Xfinity Internet for only $19.99 a month for 6 months. With lightning-fast internet and the speed you need to download HD movies, music, and more, including the top-rated Norton Security Suite, a $160 value. So call 1-800-XFINITY. Just $19.99 a month for 6 months. Right here, right now. Call 1-800-XFINITY and get Xfinity Internet today.
Looking for creative ways to grow your business? When you need targeted advertising that draws in customers? When you're ready to improve your bottom line? TV advertising works. Advertise your business in the hottest programs and reach thousands of potential customers. We can help you develop a marketing plan that is exactly what your business needs to get ahead. So contact us today and see why TV advertising works.
Call 1-877-48-TV-ADS or visit tvadvertisingworks.com.
Skylar, Sarah, Alexis, Caitlin, Dominique. The only reason I know that is because they're standing on blocks with their name on it. You see the
nice job.
Mullen cheer squad, feeling pretty good. Hey, join Blake Olson, Victor Rogers, and college football legend Sonny Lubick as they look back through the week in college football, break down Colorado's local teams as well as some of the biggest programs in the country with highlights, stats, player analysis. Altitude Sports Summit College Football Edition every Wednesday at 5:30 and 10, only on Altitude Sports and Entertainment. Blake does it every single week, does a nice job, keeps us entertained. How's old Victor doing?
Victor's doing great. He misses being up here in the booth. I can tell you that much. So,
I mean, you remember having him up here? You remember? I mean, he's a lot to handle. He is fun to have around, but we squeeze into these little booths, and he's a big old boy.
Nice run there by Rebels, ripping off some yardage, getting a nice drive going here. Yeah, Victor is doing a great job.
Yeah,
and his daughter turned 1 this week. So
he's like a big old teddy bear. He's such a nice guy, but you get it straight from Victor. He's not going to sugarcoat anything, whether it's about CU, CSU. He tell it like it is. It's a good program, so make sure you check it out. College Football Summit on Altitude. 2nd and 4. Brown handoff inside, and again, block. Coming into the lineup, seeing some playing time, why not? Get your legs moving, get the blood pumping.
At 10 minutes to go, so Columbine wants to try to feel good about themselves somewhere here, find something to point to, and they're doing a nice job on offense with 3rd and an opportunity for a first down. They really want to get in the end zone.
Big 3rd down, they're gonna do it. They'll have to convert on one of the next 2 downs. Blitz again, and boy, Justin Brown has about 1.21 seconds to figure out what he's gonna do because there's 3 large linebackers in his face and Brady Day on that one.
They knew the option was coming. Right or left, it didn't matter. They were bringing it. Linebackers were, even if they're gonna lull him to sleep and throw a pass over him, they didn't care. They were gonna get in there. A nice job just blowing it up.
5 fumbles on the night for Columbine. They've lost 2. Both ended up being costly. 4th and a long 6. Justin Brown handoff. McDonald's got some room to run and a big time hit. Taken all the way down to the 1-yard line and no quit in Cameron McDonald.
Oh, great run. Putting your shoulder down. This is a great example of what he's been doing all season long. getting outside, and you better wrap up with him too. You see McDonald, how thick he is in the legs and down below.
Looks like another 21 I know that plays for the Jets who's having a nice year. Everyone thought he was toast, old, and LT has had a nice year. That was the 13th play of the drive. Columbine threatening from the 1-yard line. And every time that I see that quick trap, there's big old Brady Day.
Oh, Day just brought it on that one. Timeout Columbine, and what a hit, just running through that one.
While the Mustang offense has put all the points on the board, it has been their defense that has kept Columbine off.
So your seat good? Get the mirrors all adjusted, you can see everything okay? Just stay off the freeways, all right? I don't want you going out on those yet. Just leave your phone in your purse. I don't want you texting.
Daddy, okay?
Okay. There you go. Be careful.
Thanks, Dad.
Call me, but not while you're driving. We knew this day was coming. That's why we bought a Subaru.
Mom calls us her dynamic duo. We turn off lights that aren't being used. And other stuff. She says we're saving the planet, but we know we save her gobs of money too. We're saving energy by turning things off. What can you do? Find out at togetherwesave.com.
Energy saving tips brought to you by Tri-State and your local Touchstone Energy cooperatives, always looking out for you.
High school football in altitude is brought to you by Toyota and the all-wheel drive Venza and your neighborhood Toyota stores. Good shot from one of the end zones where Columbine is threatening to score their first touchdown of the night after a nice defensive play by Brady Day and company. Justin Brown will try it again. Whistle blown prior to the play, and we might have had a false start. And boy, you get yourself down to the 1-yard line after a nice McDonald run. And
prior to the snap, false start on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty, second down.
Story of the night, especially early on for the Rebels. Man, it would feel so good for this team to get into the end zone against this defense. They know it. That's a huge victory for them tonight.
Something to build on. 9 minutes left in the fourth. They've moved themselves back 7 yards. Brown to McDonald, has room to run, gets himself all the way back to the 1-yard line, and he is sneaky quick.
Yeah, good job. Good job on the right side of the offensive line and the lead blocking, well-designed play coming down. That's just a beautiful play. That's a big-time play in a playoff game. Guy like McDonald can break that. You're up against this defense, punch it in some way.
Unfamiliar territory for the Mustang defensive line. And Columbine punches it in, but the ball came loose. And throw a little salt on the wound. Are they calling it a fumble?
Yeah, they're calling it a fumble. So we have the benefit of replay here. Yeah, it's a great defensive play by Kyle Silva of the Mustangs, stripping the ball right before it crosses the plane.
35-0. That didn't help.
The way out of this recession
for well-qualified customers.
Mullen, Columbine, Thursday night on high school football here on altitude. 35-0. Time now for our Cooney Lexus drive of the game, and right out of the gates, Adonis Amin Moore meant to business, and he has all night long. They've kept it on the ground, thrown it when they had to, but they've done the amount of damage right here on the ground. Capped off by a 10-yard touchdown run. He's got 3 on the night. And the Mustang defense has held the Rebels in check.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking to be able to score against this defense. And nice job marching down the field, and then to fumble like that. Give credit to the Mustang defense. But that's just a great example of what's been going on tonight.
Loss on the play. Siler Miles not in the game. Aaron Mispagel, the junior, comes in. Siler Miles tweaked his ankle just a bit and probably just being precautious. Want to make sure you keep all of your big studs healthy. No reason necessarily to play him at this point, up 35-0. We'll see the junior take the Mustangs through the final 7:45. Sweep right and tackled after a gain about 3 yards. Willingham, Taj as they call him. Did you talk to his dad prior? Is that who you were talking to?
Yeah, Paul Willingham. You know, it's been a culture shock for him as well. About 4 years ago, he brought Leland over here to play football. We saw him on the field as a 9th grader. His older son went to Thomas Jefferson, but it's just been a great experience for him the past 4 years. And he said all this recruiting stuff is just blowing his mind.
It's, you know, what's funny about this is there are certain kids that go through their entire high school career as a toss. Boy, talk about threading the needle. What a pass.
Yeah, that's a good looking pass.
Some kids go through their entire high school career never with a winning season or a chance at a state championship. And for some of the juniors and seniors that are here, they've won 22 straight games, 2 state championships. They're living like the Patriots of the early 2000s when Brady and them just couldn't be beat.
Okay, let's stop. Let's stop talking about the Patriots, please.
Yeah,
not on this
they're
broadcast.
5-1.
That's a nice pass, by the way, stepping in. No Patriot talk on this broadcast.
They're 5-1. I'm just saying.
We don't do New England football here.
Tom Brady and company. No. Not going to go for it on 4th down. Not going to. Knight Laird. And a little wobbly. Out to about the 33-yard line. No return on the play. Mullen, the clock is their friend at this point. Columbine down 35. Got 6 minutes to go. Try and get something on the board.
I am a Broncos fan.
I am a Broncos fan.
We are Broncos fans.
I shop at King Super.
King Super. I use my supercar.
I use my supercar. I bleed orange and blue.
I bleed orange and blue.
I buy official items of Broncos country.
Broncos country.
Rush to King Supers to win exclusive prizes when you buy official items of Broncos country.
Only at King Super.
I am a Broncos fan and will forever be a King Super shopper.
Rush to King Supers to win your official headquarters of Broncos country.
I want the royal treatment.
We want tacos!
When Denver scores 2 or more touchdowns, come into Taco Bell the next day between 4 and 6 and get 2 free tacos with purchase of a large drink.
Hey, Eddie, we got another one.
I'll take the royal treatment.
Tacos for touchdowns, only at Taco Bell.
Come in and get your Eddie Royal Cup.
Just a little after 9 o'clock, De La Salle Stadium, number 1, number 3. So far it's been all Mullen. Tune in tomorrow night. Your Denver Nuggets take on Chris Paul and the New Orleans Hornets. Nuggets courtside begins at 5:30, and stick around after the game for the locker room report. Chris Marlowe, Scott Hastings, all the action. Blake Olson will bring you the latest from the studio. Visit www.altitude.tv for complete Denver Nuggets broadcast schedule. Looked good last night, Blake?
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Aflalo worked hard in the offseason. Pays off last night in game 1.
Carmelo had a like game high 23, 24 points.
He looked good. Ty Lawson, Chauncey Billups, 2 newcomers, Williams.
I got to tell you, it didn't break my heart when the Boston Celtics beat the Miami Heat.
Yeah, that was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah.
They won game 2, though, last night.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe they didn't lose. You know, I thought they'd go 0-82.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. But, yeah, that made me feel good. I'm not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of the Heat right now.
They're coming to town, aren't they, in December or January? Let's see. Braun and the boys, 2nd and 8 for Columbine. Nice run through the middle. Having some success here in the second half. Columbine doesn't have any points on the board, but offensively they've moved the ball here in the second half.
Yeah, they have a good chance right now with a lot of the backups in for Mullen on defense. So there's an opportunity to get in the end zone.
And a new quarterback, as we mentioned, in for the Mullen Mustangs. Justin Brown stays in for Columbine. He's worked his tail off tonight. And it's just interesting. He's down 35-0. He hands off and continues to run the sweep outside, full bore, 100%, trying to sell it, doing the right things. And as a high school football coach, you gotta like to see your quarterback not quitting 75%, you know, through the plays. He's finishing plays, and regardless of the score, he's trying to make this team better.
Well, Columbine's gonna be disappointed, but they can't hang their heads for too long. This is what's happened to every team that's come to De La Salle Stadium or has played Mullen this season and last season, for that matter, and the season before.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I'm around professional athletes, as you are, all the time, and as you talk to these guys about, sometimes it's good to get whipped. You know, losing a heartbreaker in OT or lose, there's certain ways to lose, and sometimes when you go up against a team like Mullen and you get whipped, it doesn't feel as bad because you know you've got a lot of work to do, but it would almost be harder to lose by 1 and say, what did we do wrong? This way, at least you can say, we did a lot of things wrong. Where can we improve and get better and get ready for the playoffs? And certainly turnovers have been a big part of this.
Yeah, if they fix that, they know they at least have a chance. And you can't do that against any good team after right when we talk about turnovers and there's a fumble on the play. Good hitting going on out there by the Mustangs. Gotta hold on to the ball. You get in a varsity game and all of a sudden lay the wood in the 4th quarter in a big game. That has to feel good, get the recovery, but just disappointing for the Rebels all around.
That is the 7th fumble on the night for Andy Lowry's squad. 4 have been lost.
And that's not an Andy Lowry team. I mean, they protect the ball. That's what they're all about, protecting the ball, running the ball, taking time off the clock, being tough.
Over 2,800 yards as a team rushing this season, and they have been held scoreless here tonight. An average of 35 points every game. And did 34 come across the line of scrimmage and somebody jumped for Mullen?
Prior to the snap, false start. On the offense, that's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
I don't know why.
Did he scare you?
No, I'm watching him. Trust me. Got my eye on him. Hey, just real quick about tweeting and Facebook and all. You know, we're on. Well, I know you don't tweet, but we're on Facebook.
I tweet now.
Oh, do you tweet?
I'm a tweeter.
No, you are not. What do you tweet?
Hey, we have to tweet.
I don't tweet.
We Facebook. We make phone calls.
Hey, go everybody.
Have you done the rotary?
Go find Blake Olson and see what his tweets are. I'm curious. I can't believe you're a tweeter.
Have you tweeted
You
tonight?
Can't even turn on your cell phone. How do you tweet?
That's true.
We've got these cell phones now that are the pad. They're not even the numbers. Every message I send to somebody, they think I've lost my mind or I'm laying in the gutter somewhere because I can't even spell the.
Well, I don't do it with my phone. They have a new tweet machine that you can buy.
Oh yeah.
It's just.
Well, there you have it.
That's all you do is tweet machine.
We've obviously turned a corner with Blake Olson. He's officially tweeting.
3 minutes to go. Do you think this second team offense? I know the Rebels don't want them to score. Obviously, when it's second team and bringing the pressure.
A fumble on the play. Well, you can hear that they are cracking skulls still out there. It's first team, second team, doesn't matter. There is a lot of pride. 56 on the recovery for Mullen. They're not quitting, Blake.
No, absolutely not. Well, great shot of the ball.
Hey, and don't think for a second that Dave Logan isn't watching some players out here. He's, you know, there's turnover regardless. You got seniors graduating. He's looking at some of these juniors and sophomores and trying to figure out his roster for next year. He's going for a three-peat this year, and this team looks poised to do just that.
This will be an interesting weekend, too. This is always a lot of fun to see the seeds and the brackets in 5A. They get together at Chassa, put it on the board, figure it all out, and a lot of anticipation on Monday, Sunday night for these playoff games.
Well, I can't guarantee much, but I can guarantee you one thing.
I have an idea what it's going to be. Go ahead.
You are a tweeter. No, Mullen will be #1. There is no doubt about that, and I don't think there's another head coach, or you get onto all the, you know, the AP and the BCS, and everyone's got an opinion. This team should get avoided as Boise State or Oregon or what. In high school football, at least here in the state of Colorado, it is pretty clear that Mullen is #1.
And then you just kind of hope and pray that you're not on their side of the bracket. Well, there's some great football teams in this state, 5A and 4A down the line, and you're going to play a perfect football game against Mullen.
All kinds of players shifting in and out, and the refs have had enough of that. Yeah, too much time.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Refs have done a nice job here tonight.
They always do a nice job.
In my whole life of watching football, college, high school, pro, whatever, I have never seen a third base coach substance sign. That was crazy.
I've seen the substance penalty.
That might make the highlights somewhere. Laird kicks it down and he gets a Mustang bounce. Boy, that's a perfect synopsis of how the night has gone. Mullen has done a lot of things well and a lot of things right, but the ball has certainly bounced their way. They've collected 4 fumbles and have caused all kinds of problems for Columbine. What do you do if you're Andy Lowry at this point? You walk in here 8-0, you're rolling offensively, the defense looks good, and at this point you're just shocked as to what happens. Do you completely regroup, or do you just, hey, it is what it is?
No, you just keep on doing what you do best, and that's fundamental football. They're not going to change anything, but one thing they are going to try to improve on is holding on to the football.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're going to be a physical team, and I guarantee you other than Mullen, there's probably no other team in the state that wants to see Columbine in the first round, second round, third round.
Columbine, Regis, Chaparral is, I don't know where they're currently ranked, but they've put up some big numbers. Pomona has that running game that's always confusing. They were there last year.
Ralston Valley is a team that has really surprised a lot of people, moving up from 4A to 5A. Big win over Pomona and Arvada West, their neighborhood rivals. They're a very good team.
As the clock continues to wind down here from De La Salle Stadium, you see both teams meeting on the field. Senior night here for Mullen. And on the final game of the regular season, the Mullen Mustangs, in a dominating fashion, proved that they are not only #1 in the conference, but #1 in the state of Colorado. 35-0. Keep it right here on Altitude. We got more right after the break.
Are things different now that I'm not crushing quarterbacks every Sunday? Yeah, a little bit.
Thanks, Mike.
But I'm still Michael Strahan, so I love Dr. Pepper. The taste of these 23 flavors can never be equaled, like me. I got it.
Thanks.
Mike?
Hey.
What, man? Come on, Mike, man.
Nice hit.
There's nothing like a pepper. Trust me, I've sent people to the doctor.
Infiniti of Denver, winner of Infinity's prestigious 2009 Award of Excellence, is Colorado's choice for new Infinitis and high-end pre-owned luxury vehicles. Stop by today and experience the iconic design and performance of the new Infiniti FX luxury crossover. Available with intelligent all-wheel drive, the Infiniti FX. Personality accelerates emotion. Take a test drive at Infiniti of Denver on South Havana and Parker Road, or visit our virtual showroom at infinityofdenver.com.
Mullen, 5 touchdowns better than Columbine. Dave Logan gathering the troops, center field, midfield, Megan. How about our player of the game brought to you by Dr. Pepper? There is nothing like a pepper, and there is nothing like Adonis Amin Moore.
Well, he did what we've seen all season long. That big young man can run. And a good-looking running back, big victory for them.
3 touchdowns on the night. Let's go down to the field. Julie Brauman.
Adonis, I don't think any of us expected this kind of game. Did you?
No, not at all. I knew the game plan. We was gonna be running the ball a lot because, we had to match how much they run the ball, how much time they take off the clock. So we tried to match that. I had no idea that the score was gonna be like this and how the game was gonna go like this, though.
What does a win like this motivate you or help you propel into the playoffs?
It gives us a great edge. Because this is basically a playoff game. Usually we don't see Columbine or teams in the Jeffco into the playoffs, but now that we're in this new league, we get playoff games almost every week. So we're going to be ready going into the playoffs.
Thanks, Adonis. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All righty, Kyle, back up to you.
Thanks, Julie. Almost 1,100 yards rushing on the season and 14 touchdowns. I think he might have had a little bit of a clue that he could do some damage, and he did it here tonight. It was fun. Thanks for being with us. For Blake Olson and Julie Brauman, I'm Kyle Keefe saying good night from De La Salle Stadium, where our final score is 35-0. Altitude hopes you've enjoyed our coverage of high school football this season, and good luck to all the schools headed to the playoffs. This has been a production of Altitude Sports and Entertainment. Again, our final score, 35-0. Good night, everybody.